Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Not Another Teacher podcast. I'm your host, Mark Malone, aka the Teacher's PT. And yeah, we are here for the last kind of episode this week, focusing on dieting. Hopefully you have got a hell of a lot of tips off this. Hopefully you've had a little few light bulb moments. And the last one that I want to focus on is falling off the wagon. I think it is the biggest thing when it comes to dieting. There's so many people who do so well on a diet for a week, a month, 6 months, but ultimately fall off the wagon, feel like a little bit of a loser, and then it just spirals out of control and they end up with more weight on them than they started with. And that's the big thing that I want to change. It's funny enough what we do inside the program. Like, we have no magic exercise, we have no magic food, we have no magic anything really, but what we have is consistency and accountability to get people back on that wagon. And the first thing we tell everyone inside the program, which is what I'm going to tell all of you as well, is it is okay to fall off. It is okay to fail. It is okay to have a week without tracking, or have a bit of a binge one night, or order the takeaway. It is all okay, and it is all human nature. Like, I would be more concerned if you stuck to something completely 100%, because that to me would say there's a bit more of an issue there, because you shouldn't be doing that. Human beings are all about having that little bit of flexibility, having that little bit of a change. Our emotions taking over sometimes, and if you can completely shut them out and just stick to, well, rice and fish cakes, if you remember that old video. If you can just stick like that, then there's more of a problem there that needs to be solved. So the fact that you fail sometimes and fall off the wagon is completely cool. It's expected, and it's what you should be doing now and again. Like, full disclaimer on that, you shouldn't actively be looking to fall off the wagon. If you're doing that, it means you're doing something you hate. But if you have the blip from now and again, that is cool. It's okay. Relax with it. It comes into ultimately that thing that I was talking about an all or nothing mentality. Again, if you want that training, shoot me a message on Instagram at the Teacher's PT. I'll fire it over completely for free, because I want to get you to a place where you are thriving in that sense. But that all or nothing mentality can absolutely kill you, because yes, while you're on the high of an all, it's fantastic. But when you hit that nothingness, that's when it spirals a bit. That's when it just absolutely tanks and you just go into complete self-sabotage, which we don't want. Like, we want you in a place where you know it's okay to go 300 or 400 calories over and you can still get to where you want to be. That you can have a day of not tracking and still get to where you want to be. Ultimately, it's about the things we do consistently. It's about the things we do 80% of the time, not what we do with every single choice that's going to get us to where we want to be. So when you are falling off, when you are stuck in that all or nothing mentality, know it's something that needs to be fixed, and definitely work on it and work on getting that bit better each time. I was looking at it a little bit like going to bed at night. Like, most of us don't even worry about it. We just get up, we go up the stairs, and we go to bed. But if you ripped out those stairs, you'd be kipping on the couch tonight. You would not be able to get up those stairs because there isn't any. You wouldn't be able to get up to the first floor. And that's what a journey should be like. It's you building that staircase so that you can get there with ease. And that comes from working on it. That comes from when you fall off the wagon, ripping off that band-aid and jumping straight back on. That comes from when you've tried it a few times and you keep spiraling out of control, changing the narrative, doing something to fix it. Whether that is signing up with a coach, whether that's me or anyone else. Like, I cannot recommend enough working with a coach. I've worked with coaches myself. I've worked with business coaches. I've worked with fitness coaches. I've worked with like mental health coaches. Like, I've worked with everyone who can expand my business, because ultimately the thing is, when you've got someone there to support you, when you've got someone there that you feel comfortable with, when you've got someone there that you feel you can reach out to and ask questions to, it takes you to that whole new level. And you can always reach out and ask me. I have anything on Instagram. But when you've got someone in your corner that way, whether it's me, whether it's another coach, trust me, it's going to be absolutely game-changing for you. And ultimately, kind of to wrap up on that point, the good thing about working with a coach is that they get you to ask the question why. It's not, oh, I fell off, okay, we'll try again. A good coach will get you to answer the question, why did you fall off? What happened there? Why did this happen? Because when we start answering those questions, then we can find the answers to them. And when we find the answers to them, then we can look at how we can fix them. So you don't have to do this with a coach. You can look in the mirror and ask yourself these questions. Why did I stop tracking? Why did I fall off the radar with it? Is it because the calories were too low? Is it because I'm eating food that I don't like? Is it because I was doing a meal plan, which I absolutely detested? Is it because I'm doing a training plan that I hate? Like me personally, I don't like running. I'm not going to do a running plan. It would bore me. It would frustrate me. Lifting weights, going on walks, I love. So that's what I focus on. But ultimately, know that when you fall off, 1, it is okay. 2, you need to ask yourself why. 3, make sure you just rip that Band-Aid off and jump straight back in. And lastly, if you keep falling off the wagon, if you keep falling off the wagon before you get started with anything, it is time for you to maybe reach out and get a little bit of help with it. Whether it's from me, whether it's from someone else, because ultimately that is the fast track way. That is the best way for you to get to a place where you can truly feel happy. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully you've got a couple of little light bulb moments off it. If you have, I'd love you to subscribe. I'd love you to leave a 5-star review. They help more than you can imagine. And yeah, absolutely love this. And thanks for listening.